Hey, Fran Fam, welcome to another edition of Life and Style with Francyne. I am your host, Francyne Walker, and joining me today is a woman on a mission. She's a teacher, entrepreneur, business strategist, author, and a renegade for love. And I don't know about you, but we could use a whole lot of love in this world right about now. But you know what? One of the greatest loves is self love. And here today, joining me is none other than Gloria Ward, the founder of the I'm Loving Me project. Please join me in welcoming Gloria to the show. Hey, Gloria.
Hey, Francine. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this conversation. And you're right. The most important thing that you have to do is actually love yourself.
Yeah,
And being on that mission, it is so um, amazing, frustrating, uh,
yeah,
happy, loving, but it's a journey that you take for the rest of your life. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm happy.
I am too. I was excited. I was doing my research, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But your website is just like a portal of
Yeah.
self love.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
Yeah, we put a lot of effort into everything that we do, but the most important thing is that for women to understand when they come to us, when they come to our platform, that it is more about them, that the whole point is for them to learn and to know how to live their highest and truest self.
Yeah.
It is for them to come and to know that they are loved. They can do what they want to do in their life. They can have the freedom they want. They can build the business that they want. And the most important thing that you need in order to make that happen is a community. You need to be surrounded around a community of women that will push you and drive you and tell you how much you're loved in
Mhm.
order for you to get there. So that's exactly what we do.
Why do you think we are lacking so much in that area, Gloria?
Oh, the way we were trained.
Yeah.
Being young, our past traumas, um, the way we grew up. I grew up with my grandmother. My mother died of AIDS when I was 7 years old, right? So growing up with her, I had to learn how to survive because that's all she
Yeah.
could teach me.
Yeah.
Right. So there was no self love in there. I was told I was pretty and everything. But at the same time, you got to learn how to pay bills. You got to learn how to cook. You got to learn how to do all these things. So you never had the opportunity to see, or I haven't had the opportunity to see a woman put herself first to
Yeah.
show that she loved herself. And
Yeah.
and the crazy thing about that, Francine, is that most of us women do that. We put our
Absolutely.
kids, our husbands, everything before us.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because look, just thinking about my own evolution
Hmm.
as a self love radical,
Hmm.
the, it was a point in time where I was not always this way.
Right.
And it had a lot to do with I said it has to have something to do with patriarchy because it's just been a lot of different things where if you put yourself first, then you are the bad guy,
Right.
or the bad person.
Hmm.
Um, if you were, worked outside of the home, and had wanted the career and wanted children, and you kind of did them both, it was just all kinds of demonizing.
Yeah, you were selfish. If you put yourself first, you were selfish as a
Yeah.
woman. If you didn't put your family first, you were selfish. But it's something that I learned that one of my coaches taught me is that you have to put yourself first, because if you can put yourself first, then you can be the best for everyone else. Because
Sure.
you think about it, when you have the opportunity to put yourself first, you're a great mother. You
Yeah.
know why?
Yeah.
Because you know what to give. You know that love to
Yeah.
spread out. You're not frustrated. You're not drained. You're not trying to give it all you have and you giving half of yourself. you take time out for yourself, you get yourself together, and it doesn't have to be days and weeks. It could be an hour, 2 hours.
Sure.
Wind down, get yourself together, and then guess what? Your family gets the best of you. But
Yeah.
we don't do that. We consider that to be selfish.
And you know what? I noticed, because I'm a Black woman, I can only speak from my experience as a Black woman, but I know your not foundation, but the project is for all, it spans across races, creeds, etc. But as a Black woman, I find that it is very interesting that we are taught this, to nurture everyone else, but
Mhm.
and encouraged to pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely. You know why? Because our mothers, grandmothers, aunties, and everyone, back then it was more about you staying in your place and being a woman and letting the man handle everything. And it didn't make us vulnerable,
Mm,
right? It
mm,
didn't make us
mm.
vulnerable. We couldn't be.
Yeah.
We couldn't be vulnerable. We couldn't say we don't have it all together, right? We couldn't say things like, I am going to um, take time out for myself. That is not what we were put in a position to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
of that, all we did was pass that down and pass that along to say, no, girl, when you get kids, your life is over. When you get a husband, your life is his. You have to do all that stuff. And no,
Ah!
no, right?
No.
What about me? I wasn't born to serve you. I was
Yeah.
born to serve God, me, and everyone that comes below that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't created to be here for you to serve you. I was
Yeah.
created to live out my talents.
Yeah. And I know that very, it's like I have this thing. It's like I'm nobody's martyr, I'm nobody's
Mhm.
mule, and I'm nobody's mammy.
Yeah, I know it. I know that's right.
Because it just feels like we have been, and I see it so often, and I see it a lot of times, even in people where it's like, we're just not here for consumption. Matter of
Right,
fact, that's not why we're here,
right.
you know? So I was just like, it was just a breath of fresh air to be
Mhm.
on the website. Um, and to see the different, offerings and the different stories. And a lot of times, do you find that we discover it's through our trials and just it's through our trials and tribulations that we discover we are lacking, because we're lacking
Francine,
so
it's not
much.
until you hit rock bottom that you make changes. That's just how we are, right? It's not until you feel like you are at your wits' end and you just can't take it anymore that you start to go ahead and make a change. You know why? And
Yeah,
I tell my ladies this all the time. The reason why is because at rock bottom, there's nobody there
yeah,
but you and God,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And now you have to figure out how you're going to crawl out of that. So, what that takes you looking in the mirror at yourself
Mm,
and saying, you know what, Gloria, you did mess up. You know you should have done those things that you should have done in your life. You know you should have went after that dream.
mm,
You know you should have left that person. You know that you have should have taken another direction in life. But
sure.
guess what? These are the cards that I was dealt.
Yeah.
This is what I'm in right now. And with that, because I have my life and I have my strength and I have everything, and nobody's down here but me and God,
Yeah.
I can come out. I
Yeah.
can. Because if I'm not out of here, I still got stuff to do. And
That's
that's when you
amazing.
start to discover that self love, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was something that I saw, and I said, "Ooh, we got to talk about this, girl. My
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Forgiveness." I was looking at one of the stories um, on the site. I just love the site, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation.
Yes.
That is a very touchy, subject for, especially for the ones who have done the offending. They automatically think that you need to reconcile. It's like, no, 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 no.
No. Well, see, we always, I say this too, we always look at forgiveness as us being the victim,
Hmm.
where the person who you believe did you wrong is also hurting too, right? We have plenty of workshops and we have plenty of um, um, seminars and things that we do where some people who were hurt by others, and then some people were the ones who did the hurting,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And so when you talk about forgiveness, if you're on the side where you believe someone hurt you to the core, then yes, it's very hard for you to start to forgive. But guess what, Francine? That person is sleeping well at night,
Come on.
right? They are getting their 8 hours, they getting up and they going to work and they done found somebody else. They done moved on.
Yeah.
And here you are sitting worried about what they did, what happened, and how it affected you. And sometimes it's 5, 10 years later. Come on.
Who has 5 or 10
No,
years, Gloria,
no, no one.
for
But
that
then
nonsense?
but then the flip side of that, that person who did the hurting, who is hurt, and then that person doesn't want to forgive them, how do they move on with their life? They have to accept what that person has decided, and you got to move on.
Sure.
Yes, you broke their heart. Yes, you guys are not together, but you can't let guilt hold you.
Hmm.
Right? I don't care if it's your mama, your sister, your friend, your husband, your girlfriend, your mate, whoever it is,
Sure.
because the guilt is holding you. And that's what we don't talk about when it's forgiveness because it's always one sided.
Sure.
Where you always saying, oh, he or she or they did this to me. But
Yeah.
what if you're the one? How many people you hurt in your life? And people said, hey, Francine, you hurt me. And you sit up there and you say, you know what? I feel bad about it. I apologize. And they say, well, I really don't forgive you.
Yeah.
What can you do? Right?
Accept it. I mean,
Except,
accept it. And honestly, and I know that's easier said than done, but it is really the most logical step you
mhm,
take. Otherwise, you will stay in this kind of condemnation and bondage where it's like, I'm sorry, and really be remorseful. I
yeah.
think
And I tell
that,
the women, it's a process. It's okay for you to be angry.
yeah,
It's okay for you to be upset with the person, not talk to them, set your boundaries and remove that person from your life. But once you do that, you still have to heal. You
yeah,
don't have to interact with them, but don't let it linger in your mind where it's affecting you
sure.
because you're not going to do anything but spill that over into something else. And
Mhm.
that person who's coming along that believes that they have a friendship with you or love relationship with you does not deserve that. They don't, because they're coming with all of their stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And to pour your stuff on top of that, how are you able to grow? You can't,
Yeah.
you
But it
know?
seems like a lot of times those persons feel entitled to forgiveness. it's, and it's like, well, you know, that's an interesting, but I saw that and I thought, forgiveness does not, and I had this conversation. It's like, yeah, but maybe you should. It's like, no, you shouldn't. Not if that's not what you feel, right?
Mhm.
Like, if you don't feel reconciliation, And sometimes,
It's for you. It's
yeah,
all for you. The forgiveness is all for you to move on and accept that whatever happened, happened. And now you're just taking that next step in your life. It is called a lesson learned, and you know what to do or what not to do next time.
sure.
That's it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Do you find that, well, self love is definitely a necessary component
Yeah.
in that act of forgiveness?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because that's where it starts. There's something in you that's not allowing you to forgive.
Mm,
Bitterness, hurt, anger, all of that stuff. And when you look at it deep down inside, where did that really come from?
sure.
Because at the same time, we only let people do what we allow them to do to us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so if you allowed your mom to scream at you, if your man or your husband is screaming at you, why are you upset? If you allowed another a man to beat on you and your child or someone raises their hand at you, why are you upset? Because you didn't heal.
hmm,
You see, you didn't
sure.
heal.
Yeah,
That trauma is just following you, and you're surprised, but you're not surprised. You see, that's what we don't want to admit. And that's what goes back to what I said before. We don't like to be vulnerable. We don't like to face that person in the mirror. We don't want to see her, because if we do see her, we have to admit some deep, dark things.
sure.
But I'm telling you, when you do, when you sit there and you tell yourself the truth, you start to feel lighter. You start to come up with ideas. You start to purge and cry, and a good, good cry that will make you feel good afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
You may
find that,
agree.
do you find it's easier to embrace self love when you're older? I mean,
No,
it's not just, you don't.
no. I think it's across the board, right?
Okay,
Like the more trauma you had, the harder it is,
sure. And
because
why is that,
you
Gloria?
because you are trying to change 40 years of trauma and the way you are. That's why we call this a lifelong journey.
Sure.
I am
Definitely a project.
right. I am trying to change 40 years of habits and patterns and negative thinking. That's not something you do overnight.
Sure.
You're 50, you're 60, you're trying to change 50, 60 years of a pattern, right? And you say to yourself, I want it and I know I can do it and I'm on this journey. But we go up and down like a curve, right? We go up and down. Some days, oh, we flying high. The other days, we don't care. And then we up again and down again. But that's the beauty of life. We are here because God said, I am not going to create you to be a robot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you all of the talents that you need in order to be successful, but you are here to discover who you are. And once you discover who you are and know that I am in you, you will soar beyond the sky and the seas and everything, right?
Amen.
But it
Amen.
starts here. It
Yeah.
starts in the mind. You have to know who you are and whose you are,
You
right?
better say that.
You gotta know
Yeah.
that you know, right? That you were put here for a purpose. You're not here just to have kids and go to work every day and, do the same thing over and over and over again and say, oh, well, this is my life. I had these 4 kids and my husband, and this is just what it's going to be. No, ma'am. That is not what it's supposed to be. What
Sure.
are those talents you have? What are those things that you are missing out on? What are those things that keep bugging you every day that you feel deep down in your gut that you are supposed to be doing, but you're not doing?
Yeah.
What are those pebbles that God is throwing at you that you are not answering to?
Yeah.
Because He's always talking.
Yeah.
And it's not until He throws that boulder and we hit rock bottom that we start to discover it. But if we listen to the pebbles, Francine, if we listen to the pebbles and we understand and know when we get that feeling, that's why we're nurturers
Yeah.
as women.
Yeah.
We
But I
have
think we
the
have to turn it
intuition.
onto ourselves, right? We have
Yeah.
to begin to self nurture. One of the things you you continually mention is trauma.
Hmm.
You say um, the work you're doing is a companion to therapy.
Yes. Yes. What we do is we have our, what do you see when you look in the mirror workshops? We have our mirror workshops where we have women who come, and I always have a therapist there because sometimes it gets really deep. Like we do a lot of personal development, a lot of empowerment, but the difference between what we do and what other women organizations do and platforms do is that we get deep into the weeds and we pull them out, right? We create this safe space where you are able to come and be free and talk about those things that has happened to you or what you have done to others, and we start the process. And when it's deep like that, you need a therapist there, right? You
Yeah.
need someone who will give you that guidance and give you an understanding of why you are the way you are. So, yes, some of us, we have fantastic coaches, certified coaches, and life coaches, and self mastery coaches, and we also have therapists for our real like mirror workshops that we do.
So, talk about the process um, in how this works. You know,
Mhm.
someone watching, whether they're watching right now or they're watching the replay, this resonates. I mean, it should resonate with anybody and everybody, but it only
Yes,
resonates until it doesn't resonate until you're ready or until you
that's
hit
right.
rock bottom, right?
That's right.
So, it's like I'm loving what Gloria is saying. I'm loving this. This is what I need. Thank you, God. Here's the nugget I've been praying for by way of Life and Style with Francine.
Mhm.
Having her on the show. Thank you,
Right.
Francine. Thank you, Gloria. This is it. So I go to the website,
And
right?
this is what you do. And I say, any of your listeners who are listening to you, if you are a woman who knows and feels and understands that there is something inside of you that you have to get out, you know that there's a change that has to happen within you. You know that your life is stagnant, you feel stuck, you feel like you don't know what you want to do with your life. Your kids are grown, they're out the house, you find yourself in this lonely spot, or you at home with the husband and you're still lonely and you're looking for some kind of encouragement. You're looking to build your confidence. You're looking to build that business and say, you know what? I am going to start living for me.
Yeah.
If you are that woman, I want you to go to our website, imlovingme.net, and I want you to sign up on our email list, our newsletter list. When you sign up there, you're going to get a newsletter from us. We send it out twice a week with all of our events, all of our workshops, and all of the programs that we do that is business related. And also, it is focused on wellness and well being, right? We have a great Empower Her Soul workshop coming up. We have a whole pink week coming up next week where we're celebrating those women who have came through breast cancer, who are survivors, who are currently in treatment, and who just got diagnosed. And
Wow.
we're raising some money for a wonderful local organization here in Atlanta, Harbor of Hope. And we're going to enjoy ourselves and we're going to love on ourselves. And we're going to have an amazing Empower Her session at the end with one of our confidence coaches, Miss Ellie Curry. And she's going to boost you up and tell you how you can be more confident. So you could be confident at your job. You could be confident in your home, and you can start to decide those things that you want to do. Because at the end of the day, Francine, life is about living.
Come on. Yeah.
Life is about
Yeah.
living. It's not what you see around you. It's not about all these things that are influencing you, right? It's about what you feel inside and what you know you need to change.
Sure.
And if
Gloria,
you're ready for that change, just come on and we'll introduce you. We have plenty of programs and events that you can get involved in to start taking those steps.
Gloria, what was your rock bottom moment?
Oh man, Francine, I tell you this. My rock bottom moment was when me and my husband split. We got a divorce, right? Um, well, before we got a divorce, we were split, but we were living in the same house. And for those, I think that was like for 3 or 4 years, but for a good straight 8 years, I partied every day, right? And I was drinking a half a bottle of vodka. I was out there hanging out with friends and everything. And I got 2 DUIs, right? So my first DUI, I didn't I didn't take it seriously. I blamed someone else, right? I blamed the police officer. I blamed the fact that the street wasn't right. I did everything, right? Now the second DUI that I got, I actually fell asleep and I hit someone. And that's what really woke me up because I thought that I really hurt somebody just because of my negligence. And I went to jail. And when I did, I had to go to alcohol treatment. And of course, I was still in denial with that. I was like, look, I'm not an alcoholic. I got to take these damn classes anyway and do all this, right?
Yeah.
So I go to the class and I meet the lady who's the instructor over the class, who's also a therapist, and she gave out a paper that talked about situational depression. And she said, these are the levels of depression, but most of you guys in here got situational depression. Some event in your life put you here. You either smoke too much, you either going through something. And she had like a list of things. Girl, I had six of the 8 things that she had on the list.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
when she got to me, I said, all this is me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, all this is me. And she said, well, you know why you here, right? And from that, I said to myself, now I know
Mm,
what's wrong with me. You see, and that's the reason why you have to get in an organization and get with a group that will let you know, because we don't know what's wrong sometimes, right? We think it's heartache, we think it's heartbreak, we think it's all of this stuff. But really, Francine, my problem was is I did not like my life. I did not like who I was. I had situational depression. My business was going down. I was getting a divorce and all of that stuff I didn't know how to handle. So I started acting out. I started drinking. I started hanging out every day, right? Thinking that will go ahead and soothe me, you know?
sure.
And it
Yeah.
didn't. And it didn't until that second DUI. And it scared me so bad because I thought I hurt someone. And I said, you know what, Chloe, you got to get yourself together, girl. You ain't,
Mhm.
this is not me. I know it's not, right?
Yeah.
I know it's not me, but who is this person? And when I looked in the mirror, Francine, I was vulnerable with myself and I was a hurt, angry woman who was about to lose everything because we were getting a divorce
Hmm.
and I was afraid to start over and I was afraid to really figure out or know what was next in my life.
Sure. First of all, I have to acknowledge how brilliant you are,
Thank you.
because you talk about business, and I mentioned in the intro business strategist, but
Hmm.
you're like a techie. Digital.
Yeah, I'm
You,
nerdy.
you, you excel in the digital space, from
Hmm.
ebooks, which probably explains why your website is such a self-love portal,
Hmm.
because of your own gifts and talents.
Yeah, I
A
was.
little bit about that. And you've got other programs
Yeah.
that that are part of, or maybe a companion to. And I don't want to bombard you with like 3, 4 questions at a time.
No, you're
But
fine.
it's, but you're brilliant. It's like this girl, you know, this is just one project. This is just one endeavor
Yeah.
that you have. But talk about the business side of Glow. Talk about the digital space, being a Black woman in that space, excelling in the field of tech.
Okay. I tell people this too. I don't do it alone. Trust me, I have a wonderful team behind me that's helping me push this thing forward. Um, as another branch to the I'm Loving Me project, we have our Girls Leap. And LEAP is an acronym for Girls Learn, Earn, Advance, and Profit. I've always been a business owner. I've been a business owner for 17 years. I never had a boss, never went to corporate America or anything like that. I've bootstrapped a business from nothing to over $2 million. And I've always had drive, and I always knew that I wanted to be a business owner because I loved my freedom. I loved the idea of solving problems. So when I was in college, I started this company called Glow Tech Computers when I was fixing the kids' computers in college. And since I went to Clark Atlanta and it was in the AUC, the AU Center, so
Yeah,
I had all the schools where I would put my flyers out, and anyone who called, I would come and fix their computers for like $20, $30. And that's the way I was able to, start and build. And from there, I became a consultant. And from there, I, really started my business and started working in healthcare. And then I started teaching other people how to build their business from scratch. And one of the things that I teach is learning how to develop and devise not a business plan, but a business model. How are you going to make money? How are you going to pull revenue in? And how are you going to scale that? Right?
sure, sure,
And I also teach how are you going to communicate with your customers in such a way that you retain them, you continuously bless them, and you get them to know, like, and trust you,
sure.
right?
So
And
this
so,
is another aspect or another.
yeah, there is another program that we have with the I'm Loving Me project for our business women, because there are some of us, like you and I, who know that we're on a journey to really having more self love, and we have taken the action. We have come through 3 or 4 different hurdles, and now we're in our business journey. We
Yeah,
we know what we want to do, but
yeah,
there's more hurdles there,
yeah.
right? Because now that you're figuring out how to do business, guess what's creeping in? Doubt, fear, and all these things,
Girl,
right?
get out my house.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all these things are creeping
Yeah,
in, right? But we
yeah,
still got a business to run. We
yeah,
still got to make it work because this is what we love.
yeah.
And so, what makes us unique is that we merge the two. We work on the mind and we work on our money.
Baby.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yes,
work on the
yes,
mind and work
yes.
on the money,
That's
because
a
when you have
perfect
those
marriage
two
right
things,
there.
that's right.
That's a
Because what
perfect
happens when
marriage.
you have those two things? You got
Yeah,
a powerhouse, girl. That is unstoppable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could, and the great thing about it is when your money is right,
Come on, girl.
your mind,
Come on,
it's like
girl.
oh, I got that.
That's
And it's just, oh yeah, I could take care of that. But your family, and I'm not saying, you're being Mary Jane and everybody's taking
uh-huh.
but it's like, oh, I'll take care of that. And at least for me, it's a blessing when I can do things because I can.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Your mind is just, it's like, okay,
It eases your mind,
yeah,
but it all starts in the mind.
yes,
You gotta know that you can do it. See, $1 million can't be a lot of money to you. $2 million can't be a lot of money to you, because if it is, you believe that you can't reach it,
yeah,
and then you'll be struggling and working hard. That's why we work on the mind. And you got to know that if you are here to do business and you want to leap and you want to be a part of Girls Leap, where you learn, meaning learning how to be a business owner,
yeah, yeah,
earn, develop a business model so that you know how to earn money. Advance, learn how to scale your business so that you can grow and do more. And profit, see the damn money in the bank, girl. I promise you, that's what Girls Leap is about.
so you got this person. So say, say, okay, that's for anybody. It's too late for me, Gloria. I'm 50 something years old. It's too late. I should have, if I had gotten this when I was 20 years ago, I would be a powerhouse now. What do you say to somebody that may have let ageism, because it's really,
Mm-hmm.
that's nothing but society.
Let me tell you, I tell them, go ahead and sign up for our Girls Leap Elite program, and go ahead and take the self mastery class with one of our coaches, so you could go ahead and work on your mind and change that mindset in 3 or 4 weeks.
Wow.
Once you do that, then you go ahead and you pick another program. You go ahead and you pick that business program so you could start doing that thing that you want to do. Or if you want to run that nonprofit, or you want to work with that nonprofit, or if you want to do just some more things in your church,
Yeah.
you go ahead and you sign up for that. But our Girls Leap Elite program, it is a full house of mental and business classes that you can take, and you only pay one price, and you could take classes and workshops all day long. It's like Netflix. You could watch and see and join anything. You
Yeah.
know why? Because we didn't want to limit. Most other programs, you have to choose, right? Oh, if you're going to do the mindset thing, we're going to give you all the stuff to empower you and everything. Well, honey, when I get home, I still don't know how to do this spreadsheet or look at this P&L for this business. So how do I do that? Oh, you got to sign up for another thing here and pay this price for it. And it's like, okay, well, once I do that, now I'm afraid to do it. So now I got to go back here and figure out how. No,
That's
when
good.
we say community, we mean community. And that means wherever you fall in your life right now,
Yeah.
the Girls Leap Elite is there. So if you're not ready for business yet because you got to work on your mind because you think you're too old, go ahead and take some of them classes until you're ready. And when you're ready, it's there.
And I notice you are not even going to address that, as far as not so much address me, but address, it's like, you know,
No,
because here's a solution. We're not
that's right.
talking, we're not
Uh-uh.
discussing.
Nobody is. We're not going to feel sad for you because that's what you think. We're not going to feel sad for you because that's
Yeah.
what you think. That's that negative programming, you
Yeah.
see, and we can't give in to that.
Yeah. Because
But
it
I could
wants to be
show you.
coddled.
That's right.
It wants to be coddled and given another excuse. It's like,
Exactly.
no, no, you know,
Exactly.
it's not gonna work.
Girlfriend, we got work to do.
Yeah.
If you look at your life, would you sit up there and tell God you too old? Oh God, I can't do that because I'm too old. Okay,
I
well
always say,
then that means you done. What you
yeah,
still here for, right?
yeah. I always say, it's like, God, I do not want to get up to heaven and you tell me I gave you a whole lot to work with.
Uh huh. Absolutely. you know,
You know,
or you look, or I saw one thing online that said, you know, you get to heaven and God is looking through all your memes, explaining to you why you can't get into heaven because you got all this negative stuff going on. You know, you're like, nope, you can't get in. You know, no, life is about self-discovery.
yeah,
Life
yeah,
is about love. Life is about happiness. Life
yeah,
is about sharing that love and that happiness because that's all we want deep down inside. All the money, all that crap means nothing. At the end of the day, we just want to be heard and we just want
yeah,
somebody to know that they heard us
yeah.
and that we are loved.
Yes.
That's
My
it.
mother used to always tell me, and I don't know, she used to say, people want you to make them feel important. They have a
Absolutely.
visible sign that says, make me feel
I want to
important,
be seen. I want to be heard. If
you
you can
know?
do that.
And so learning and then going through Dale Carnegie, where it's like, call people by their name. It's music to
Hmm.
their ears. And, you know, we would go out to eat, my friends and I was always the one, you know, what's your name? And
Yeah.
then make that connection. And it's like, okay, Devin, can you bring such and such? And Devin would almost trip over himself
Exactly.
serving me.
Hmm.
And so they would be like, ask Fran to get it, you know, because he's, you know, he's going to give it
She
to
has
her.
a relationship with him, but that little small gesture that you did acknowledged him
Yeah,
because you don't know the kind of day he had.
no.
You don't know what happened to him before he got to work, but someone calling his name and acknowledging him,
Yeah.
he gave you his best.
I know.
That's what it
It,
is,
yeah, yeah.
right?
You know, this has been a great. I knew I was in store for a great interview. That's why I love about the show. I never meet a stranger. That's
Yeah,
my thing. I never meet a stranger. I know everything is divinely orchestrated.
right.
Um, and I was just excited. It's like because we can love ourselves a little bit more.
Sure can.
It is a practice. You know, it's kind of like renewing your mind. How
Right.
the word says, you know, renew
Absolutely.
your mind every day. So and keep practicing because a lot of times some of those old things creep up.
Mhm.
Old people try and creep back if you didn't block them. Um, you know, but it comes in the form because it's just sometimes the way we're wired, where people will try and circle back around, or certain things will try and circle back around. She's
Right.
like, you know, did you really mean it? It's like,
Right.
yeah, I meant it, you
Right.
know.
Exactly.
So this has been good. I've got the information for the website www.imlovingme.net, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time. It has been a blessing to because we all just need a little bit more love. As I said in the beginning, you know, it's a
Absolutely.
lot going on in these pandemic streets, and we're hurting, and we're just we're spent. You know,
Absolutely.
we're spent,
Absolutely.
and we're trying to navigate. We're trying to, you know, especially in a country right now that is treating its citizens so unfairly. You
Mhm.
know, in the midst of something that is unprecedented. You or I have never seen this
Right.
before, and here we are, you know, not really being acknowledged in the way we deserve to be as citizens of the
Absolutely.
United States. You know,
Absolutely.
and it takes self-love to recognize, wait a minute, this ain't right.
That's right.
Other countries take care of their citizens, right?
That's
and
right.
and we're sitting here, you know, second world country with a Gucci belt and our slip is showing, you know, just the snob. So it's just important that even in the midst of this, you have tools. You were talking about all the different programs and everything is virtual, correct? So where a lot of us are still staying home, being safe, because the second wave, this is a perfect time to go to I'mLovingMe.net and get your love on. Get yourself love on. I think Gloria, can you hear me? I can't hear you, Gloria.
How about now? Can you hear
Okay,
me?
there we go. Girl, you got to repeat that because I
Oh yeah,
had
I
a
was
nugget.
saying, if any of you want to come, we have our Empower Her Soul coming up on the 25th, and
Okay.
and you just got to remember that it's about you. This is about you.
And it's
And don't be
okay for it to be
selfish.
about
Yeah.
you.
And don't feel like you're being selfish,
Yes.
because it is about you.
Yeah.
And it is time for you to step up and to show out and to be who you are.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
what it is. It's time for you to love on you.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
on you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It has been a wonderful experience speaking with you.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to going back through the website and navigating myself because I am certainly not above learning and
Mhm.
becoming my best self
That's
and given the tools that you have so brilliantly put together for anybody to access in one space. I call it the self-love portal. I'm like, this girl has
yeah.
everything from
Yeah,
testimonies to encouragement,
that's
the
right.
tools. So bravo to you
Thank you.
for creating the I'm Loving Me project and enabling us to become our best selves, getting our minds right, getting our money right.
I know it. And
you
I
know,
would say to the ladies too, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. It's the
yeah,
I'm Loving Me Project, on YouTube, and just hear and see the stories of the women that are in our community who decided to be vulnerable, who
yeah,
decided to tell their stories. I mean, because it's not about me. I'm just a vessel. God told me to do this and I'm doing it, but it's the stories of the amazing women who are coming out of this, who are living their highest and truest self, that just makes it all better. Like, I am always in awe. And just to know that we're only 2 years old and God has given us
yeah.
all of this momentum, I can't help but say thank you and be blessed. And thank you for having me on the show. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for allowing me to discuss our project with your audience.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck on next week.
Okay. Thanks.
Good luck on the Pink Week.
Yes, ma'am.
Much success. I'm sure it's going to be one. I'm definitely going to have to check everything out.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Have a wonderful weekend and the rest of the year.
All
We are
right.
almost out of 2020.
I know it. I know it. Time is just going by so fast. I
It
tell
is.
you.
It
I
is.
tell you.
Yeah. So take care, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye.
Wow. I know I'm ready for some more self-love techniques. I don't know about you. That was a great, great um, interview, great guest. Again, if you guys want to check it out, you can go to her website for more information, www.imlovingme.net. And of course, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please drop us a line at lifeandstylewithfrancine@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram, Francine Walker TV, and you can also like and follow Life and Style with Francine on Facebook. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Francine Walker, where you can see this interview and all my past interviews as well as upcoming interviews. And until then, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you.